Christ almighty. We've got our work cut out for us. The Crucible is my house, and in my house, my word is law. Forget your mother's teat. From now on, this is your home.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back for episode 3 of our walkthrough / let's play of The Secret World. Don't forget, if you'd like to get caught up on where we are or why we're here, jump on over and check out episodes 1 and 2 of the series. Once again, I would like to thank those who took the time to share their feedback on the previous videos, and don't forget to leave comments and questions in the comment section below the video. Who knows, just might affect the direction of future episodes. And with the announcements out of the way, let's get back into the game, shall we? What's this? What's this? What's this? More lore. Templars. What is this? Let's talk about the mini-map. Alright. This is your mini-map. You can zoom in, zoom out, make it bigger, make it smaller, etc. It's pretty good. Alright, which one did we just get? Listen, sweetling, do you hear? When the lions of the secret world roar, the others listen. Some call them fanatics and zealots. To Templar eyes, evil reigns over compromise and corruption. Therefore, their empire must be incorruptible, must be uncompromising. They must suffer no demon to live. Measuring the lengths one must go to is redundant when there are no limits. It's good stuff. You gotta give it to the story creators, the content creators, the writers, especially the NPC creators. This game has some of the most colorful NPCs you'll ever meet, and I love it. This is where you can go clothes shopping at the Pangea. I won't do it right now because I'll be here for hours, but I'll come back later. Oh, alright. Follow the road to Templar Square. More lore. Did I miss any back there? Nope. Alright. The buzzing. This would be the first step in the system of the buzzing. There's tons of buzzing lore based around the beads of Argatha that are what gave us our powers and infused us with anima and resurrected us and yada yada. These things make a little less sense. I will try to get a good breakdown of this, like how to read these like cleanly, and see if I can't help you guys out with that. Try and sort out the nonsense that is the buzzing. It's deep. And as they said, it is unmissable. It's huge. It's massive. Flags everywhere. Yeah. You really can't miss it. Oh, I forgot. My sprint is so slow. Okay. Oh, got first. This is, when you see this one, the little wreath with the star and the green box, this is your achievements. You click on it, it'll show you which ones you get. Any new ones you've recently acquired will be highlighted with that red exclamation point. And these are all going to be different sections, and anything with this little box means you get a reward for completing all these achievements, and there are many. More lore. Templars, our wisdom flows so sweet. Taste and see. Transmit, initiate Babel signal, receive, initiate phosphorus prayer frequency, download, initiate John D lexicon as seen on TV, initiate pillar of salt protocol, deliver us from evil, initiate mole curse cadence, must redeem before expiration, the red spectrum, witness the Templars. Good stuff. Hail. Hail to the king, baby. Apparently they're all cat people. This is all new to me because I've never actually been in here. Because as other faction, when you get to the door will be blocked with a magical barrier. These are going to be your their council representatives. Most of the time, they sell you the good stuff. This is where you'll come for your first level 10 uniques. Super awesome stuff. Good stats all around. And upgradable.
Come in. Come in. I'm very pleased you can follow directions on the back of a card. It is the basis for us getting along famously. Of course, with an establishment like this, we're practically in the yellow pages under Crusaders. Richard Sonak. So, you heeded our call to arms. You have questions, I can furnish you with answers. Some answers. To begin with, you haven't strayed into some atrocious Dan Brown airport paperback. We are not the Knights Templar. That particular appellation went out in the 1300s along with page boy haircuts and burnings at the stake. No, we run a 21st century, well, let's say a forward-facing organization, but one with its strength in ancient bonds of tradition, in loyalty, in blood, and, to be perfectly frank, in a sizable private army. Our firm guidance is needed to save the world from itself. We have kept the matters of squabbling secret societies and loathsome dimensions discreet, until the shadows began to peel back across the globe, until these darkest of days came upon us. Now, the evidence is on television, for pity's sake. We are at war. Might will make right, and it will fall upon us to judge the correct application of might. It falls upon you as a soldier of the Templars. Show me that you have the will, and we can teach you the way. Your remarkable powers can be honed and controlled, at least to less disastrous effect on property values. There is a private training area which we have reinforced for just that purpose. Come back and see me after.
All right. Mission updated, tier 2 of 3. Enter the Crucible. Now, see, he has lore. We can talk to him about all kinds of stuff. This is a special assignment given out to people of the faction, but this little lock means that I have not reached the prerequisites for the mission to be used.
You should know that I am internally busy, but for my sins, I prefer a more civilized mode of correspondence than rsonic@thetemplars.org. So while my time is limited, my door will always be cautiously ajar.
Cautiously ajar. No, my doors are not open. It's cautiously ajar.
You're quite safe here in London. The old girl is a marvel of arcane geometry, thoroughly warded for your protection and by degrees for ours. Londoners are of special mindset, oblivious to practically any outrage beyond raised congestion charges. You'll find the locals outside of Temple Court to be a motley crew, but they are harmless, mostly harmless. They are under our protection and know better than to mess on our red carpet. I shall risk the assumption that you're not a skeptic. It will make explication easier on both of us. Someone I trusted dearly once told me, there are no monsters, only us. Advice to live by. But from here on in, you'll find things have a slight tendency towards complicated. Our world is a strange, dark place, and its strangeness is currently accelerating, to say nothing of the darkness.
Well, that's an understatement.
I'm courting accusations of bias here, but you have made the right choice by coming to us. The proper choice. The other societies are barely capable of governing themselves, let alone the world. I'll take your question, but you should appreciate this is a difficult topic within the establishment. The bad blood between our two societies is positively virulent. To be blunt, little concrete information exists on the Dragon. They thrive on their own mystique. They are variously believed to be a fringe society of inscrutable Zen mystics, or a cell of dangerous anarchic extremists. It seems increasingly possible for them to be one and the same. I would prefer not to dignify the thieves and murderers of the Phoenician Navy with an introduction. Sadly, as chivalry endures, so too does piracy. There are mercenary sans frontiers, sans loyalties, even to the highest bidder. Wherever there is a claim to jump, you can rely on their tasteless gold-ringed fingers to be stained with either dirty money or blood. The regulating body of the secret world convenes in ancient Venice. You might think this would make diplomatic duty an easy sell. I assure you, from experience, the charm quickly fades.
Much useful information. It's good to know about the Phoenicians early on, because they will wreck you later. Do you want to enter the Crucible? Yes, yes I would. Crucible. Oh, Crucible's got a wet bar. What's up, guys? It's a fancy place.
Christ almighty, we've got our work cut out for us. The Crucible is my house, and in my house, my word is law. Forget your mother's teat. From now on, this is your home. This is where you learn to stay alive. You've come here an empty slate. You have potential, that's why you were recruited, but that potential needs strict guidance. You're a loaded weapon, and if you don't learn to control yourself and channel your powers, you'll end up hurting yourself or others. You have the ability to manifest anima, your life force in the physical world, to enhance your strength, your physical attributes, to do magic. Martial magic, none of that fairy stuff. Whatever trinket you hold in your hand is merely a way to direct your powers. We don't do magic wands here. Through your weapon, you channel and wield your magic. And never mind why this power has been awakened in you. You're not the only one, and you're not the chosen one. You're part of an army. Our army. And from now on, you'll do what you're told. It's the way of the Templars. Consider this your playground. It's not like being out in the front lines, but is close enough. We have a choice of weapons for you to practice with. Try as many as you wish. You want to make sure you're comfortable with your weapon. It'll be the only thing between you and a trip to the graveyard. Those things are called Rakshasa, the basic hellhounds. We keep them chained. They used to make such a mess of the new recruits. Use them for target practice. Don't worry, they don't feel a thing, and they're unworthy of mercy. Spend your time in the Crucible well. There's no point rushing things. Out there, the demons aren't chained up, and you don't have me around to save your sorry ass. Go on, get started. I'll offer some guidance along the way.
I like this bitter old coot. And it's better than beating up straw dummies. We actually get to mess up some frickin' evil demons. Oh, that's horrible. Whoosh. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is why we do it. I like they actually got rangefinders on here. This is classy. Alright, so let's take a peek at the weapons, shall we? You got your assault rifles, your pistols, and your shotguns. These are going to be all your physical-based ranged attacks. Then you've got your hammers, your fists, and your blades. These are going to be all your melees. And then you've got the magic-based range. Chaos, blood, and elemental. And yes, for those of you who noticed, the starter elemental focused is an iPod charger twisted in the shape of a little man. That blew my mind the first time I saw it. I was like, what? Seriously? Now, although you can play as anything you want, when you start, you get abilities based on your first choices. So choose carefully. You want something that's leaning towards a build that you like, something you're going for. I've played multiple builds. I am really fond of the assault rifle. I like what it does. But I actually thought about trying something new this run. And I was thinking we need to go something known as I want to say it's the Puritan Purifier, something like that. I think we're gonna go shotgun hammer and give it a try. Do kind of like a tanky build to see how that plays out. You never know. It may work, it may not. But so you come over here and you take your weapon. Boom. And it tells you shotgun. Gives you, you know, builder, pump action, consumer, out for a kill. Resources are the little blast icons applied to target, major combat role, DPS. It's medium range, 10 meters. Access to support abilities. Good to know. Let's check out the hammer. Hammers, builders, smash. Single target hammer attack deals moderate damage. Hell to pay. Hammer blast that deals large amount of damage in a column in front of you. Ooh, that sounds fun. Resources applied to me. It's short range, 3 meters, draws hate, combat rolls, DPS tank. Now DPS tank is kind of what I'm going for, so it sounds like it's gonna be the thing to do. Let's see what the help has to say. Press I to open your inventory and C to see your character stuff. Excellent timing. I opens your inventory, and this is where my OCD kicks in because I move all of this stuff and change it around. First thing I'm going to do is pull this out like this. You start off with 50 item slots. You can easily use any cred that you build to expand this size limit quickly. It does get expensive the more times you do it, but I think my main character is up to 200 and some slots, and I think I'm dropping like just under $1 mil per upgrade. I always put the shortcuts right down here. Depending on where the UI pops later, I may scoot it around a little bit, but I like keeping them down here and keeping them pinned so that when you turn off your inventory, it stays. Anything you hit this little pin on, when you tack it on, when you turn off, it stays there. So you can always see what's going on. I leave these unpinned. I leave this one pinned so that I can get my shortcut hotbars for items that I want to use quickly. Also your tokens, anything that's other than regular money, all your tokens are going to be listed here, and you will use the first 3 quite frequently. Especially in the higher ends, it becomes almost mandatory. You'll be doing bullion grinding all the time, but lucky for us, there are envoys from the council that give out quests that do lots of bullion, like 10 a pop, plus more if you're a member. So you can build up bullion pretty quick. So yeah, this is going to say find the sledgehammer and equip it. The C menu is where you're going to equip it. Here's where you have your name, and you can, if it's like you're like, oh, it's too tiny, I can't see it. It is affected by zooming in, so you can make it bigger. You have head slot, your upper major talisman slots, your lower minor talisman slots, and then your 2 weapons. You also get an auxiliary slot later, which we'll talk about, and the Aegis system, which will be a second swappable up here once we get to Tokyo, but that is far down the line. Here you get your basic character statistics, offensive, defensive, healing. You get your factions and battle rank. This is your standing with your current faction, your rank, XP, and any PvP you do. Gear management. This is useful, super useful. Every time you get a good build that you like, certain gear, certain weapons, you know, for soloing, for healing, for tanking, whatever. Once you have the build, all your skills are set up, you hit new, boom, name it, save it, and then you can just load it. Make a second one, save it here, and then you can just load and update as necessary in between the two, and you don't have to think about it anymore. It's really useful. And your dressing room, which allows you to regularly swap whatever costume pieces you have unlocked. pants, shoes, head pieces, face pieces, neck pieces, jackets, chests, etc., etc. It's good stuff. But the C menu is where you're going to access all of that. Let's see. Let's check on. Let's see. What is this one? This is going to be your fist weapons. What do they say about this? Starts with claw, single target attack, hog wild, fist weapon blast deals large damage in a cone in front of you. This is for DPSs and healers. Short range damage, long range healing. The blade used in several builds. Used for DPS and tanking. Start with delicate strike, balanced blade. Short range draws hate. Always draws hate. Because the blades are a super bursty weapon. I don't think any of these are used for tanking. See, check out the assault rifles. Assault rifles definitely going to be DPS and heal because you've got the leech heals. This is the longest range weapon in the game. You want long range, the assault rifle's where you go. That's why I like it. But besides the leech heals and the long range, it's just priceless. This is definitely going to be DPS and support. By support, it means buffs, not healings. You can kind of use it to heal, but mostly it's just going to be for buffing. Buff and drop. Let's see, chaos. Short range, draws hate, DPS and tanking. It's pretty good. It's a good damager, and it's good for draw and aggro, which in this game is known as hate. Yeah, it's pretty good all around. Blood magic is a good, definitely DPS heal. You can use it for burst. You can also use its shields and built-in healing to heal others, but at a cost. You either spend resources or your own health to heal other people. So blood magic has its place, but can be dangerous in dungeon play. Elementalism, you get these little action figures all the time. It's long range, much like the assault rifle, not as long range as the assault rifle, but pretty long range. And this is pure DPS. I mean, there are some minor support things that you can play with here and there, mainly passives, but elementalism is where you're going to go just to bring the pain. That's all there is to it. You're just bringing the pain. So we're going to start with I'm going to say hammer. I think we're going to say hammer and shotgun maybe. I don't know if I'm going to need the heals, but this is going to give me very tanky setup, and this is going to give me a little AoE and long range engage. So we're going to see how that plays out. All right, so the mission where we're at, Elementalism 101. That is set up for using the elemental item. We do not want that. We want this one. Boom. Hammers 101. Yep, we know that. Let's go here. Open the C. You can just right click on it, or you can click and drag it here to put it in which slot you want, or you can just right click on it and it'll auto equip. Boom. I have a sledgehammer. Target a practice demon. Will do. Let's run over here. Hey, you jerkwad. Practice demon. Use hell to pay. Boom. Build some resources. See, I have 5 resources down there. Then, boom. Burn them down. Use smash. Did it. Beat them up. See, 2, 3, 4, 5. Built that. Have queued. Drop it. Drop it like it's hot. Smash that face. They have a ton of health because I do no damage to start with. Tier 2 of 3, might makes right. Now this is a good time to point out, you saw that I got the secondary action quest. When it popped up mid-quest, it automatically switched to that because that was now my primary quest. I could still go over there and hover and check out, well, what's this mission? What's that mission? You can click on those and make those your active trackers, but for the sake of this one, I just let it roll over on its own because it will do that as needed. Say you pick up a side quest, you finish it, and then you turn it in. Once you turn it in, it'll automatically swap back to the next major quest you are in progress of. So now it says, return to Brigadier Leth when you have found your desired weapons. All right. Well, have you finished choosing your first weapon? Yes, I have. Thank you. Boom. Choose a second weapon and complete your training. I'm going to go with the shotgun because, I don't know. Do I want? Yeah, I'm sticking with it. I'm going with the shotgun. I want the shotgun because last time I started with the assault rifle. All right, here's where it explains builders and consumers. Builder adds to your resources, has the plus symbol. Consumer uses resources, has the exploder icon there. These are your melee resources, magic resources, and ranged resources. They're very easy to tell the difference between because they have their little logos on them and they all look different. I love it. It's very, very obvious. You don't got to think about it. Yeah, so then we'll open our inventory and we can see that it's already equipped as our secondary. Boom, it just put it there. It's on our back, good to go. And then, boom, we get another action quest here. Now, you see how I still have the story mission and it's flashing. It's still there. I can switch to it, but I want to have Builders and Consumers class 102. Strike it with your melee consumer. All right. So I run up here, target him, melee consumer, kapow. All right, refill your resources for both weapons using a builder. Now I can use that easily for this. Boom. Or I can use this one. Boom. Boom, boom. And now use my resources to use a consumer. Will do. How about a shotgun blast to the face? That sounds fun. Good job. All right. Fun on a bun. I have finished my second weapon. Boom. Earn my first skill points. Down here, every time you get AP and SP, ability points and skill points, they will pop up right down here and give you active trackers, so you know how many you get. The N is what brings you...
Welcome to the Council of Venice Digital Archives, and your online guide to surviving the secret world. The Ability Wheel. This is the Ability Wheel. The Ability Wheel is where you will train new abilities. Abilities are trained using ability points. You get additional ability points by gaining experience. When your experience bar reaches a threshold, you will receive a new ability point. As you train new abilities, you can drag these onto your ability hotbar. There are two types of abilities, actives and passives. Active abilities are triggered using keyboard shortcuts, or by clicking the icons on the ability hotbar. Your passive abilities are automatically activated when equipped. Active abilities are linked to weapons. You must equip the correct weapon in order to use your abilities. You can equip 7 active abilities and 7 passive abilities simultaneously, along with 2 weapons. Keep an eye on your ability point counter. When you have new points available, you can train new abilities and expand your skill set. For more information on the Ability Wheel and abilities in general, please access the Council of Venice archives.
The Council of Venice are the guys in white that I was pointing out to you earlier that sell the awesome shit. And I'm glad she went over that, so I didn't have to. But she'll probably go over another one here in a minute. This is the wheel she was talking about. You have your ranged melee magic, just like in the groups of 3s I was talking about. And then you have your upper class. You have to unlock the beginning skills to have access to your upper class skills. Don't write off the lower class skills. The inner wheel is still very useful end game. These aren't necessarily better than these. They are just more specific. They act on a specific target. Like, do you want to build markers? Do you want to burst? Do you want to AoE? Do you want do you want to support? Would you like drones, or would you like shields, etc., etc.? And they're all useful. These miscellaneous ones do different things. Some are for healing, some are for tanking, some are for DPS. Like I believe this one's going to be all your tanking here, which is funny because it's in between DPS and DPS. It should be up here, I think, tanking. And this is survivalism, which I believe would be better off possibly over here. And this one should be over here because this is all your save your DPS ass. But yeah, total abilities. These are what you have unlocked thus far. There are 525 total as far as we are right now. And how many you have versus how many you can hold. These are your equipped actives. These are your equipped passives. Over here, we'll start with this one. You can search. Do a search for any ability. If you're looking for a specific one and don't want to hunt through the wheel, totally useful. Type it in here, find it. It'll tell you how much it costs. I don't agree with the green because green kind of tells me that I have enough AP to buy it. You'll learn that later. And that you don't have it, so it's kind of confusing. But I mean, having it there is good. But the green coloring, they should have made the coloring match the cell panel. The cell panel here shows you whatever you're selected here. It shows you all the different abilities. Now, this is what I was talking about. Green means it costs 1 AP. I have 1 AP and can purchase it. So when I click on it, it says buy. Tells me what it is: instant activate, instant recharge, so I'd have no cooldown. I can use it repeatedly and it casts instantly. Tells you what it does, how much damage it'll do. This number, when it says moderate, low, etc., that is the shorthand version of what this is. And this number will change based on your equipment. So if you do more or less, this will reflect accordingly. So you never have to guess. It's pretty good. Now this one's red, see, because it's locked. Even though I do have 1 AP, it is locked and I can't get to it until I unlock the previous one. So it's in red. It will also be in red if you don't have enough AP to do it. And when you buy it, once you buy a skill, it will turn gray, meaning you own it. It costs 1 AP, but you already paid the 1 AP and you therefore own said skill. If they used these colors and they moved them over to the ability search, I think it'd be a little more useful, but that's just something to keep in mind. Once you click on a thing, you can it'll instantly take you to it, and there you can see if you have it or not and what it requires. Etc. And then in this other one over here, you get your decks. These are the decks you can possibly build. There are generic ones. They're ones marked as starter. These starter decks, I don't know why it's not showing. There you go. No, that's elite. Starter. Starter decks are decks that anyone can have. They are not faction specific. Any player can have them. And if you don't know what build you're going for, the decks are really good about that because it gives you not only a place to start, you know, they're a good combination of things set up for you already. It tells you what they need. It shows you on the wheel where they are. If you hover over, it'll show you next to the name, that little red circle, what you need to complete this deck. Upon completion of the deck, you can claim reward, and you will actually claim the outfit that is in the picture, and there are several. There are also faction-specific ones, which I'll get to in a second, but once it's done, you can hit, at any time, even if you're not complete, you can hit Equip Deck, and it will equip as much of this set deck that is possible. If you don't have it, obviously it won't equip it. But it will try to pre-equip your abilities down here to the best of its ability. Now, once you get out of these starters, you get into the specific ones. These have the colorful background, and these are faction specific. You can only get these costumes from this specific faction. My other character is a dragon. I like several of those. I wish I could carry them over, but they don't carry over, so it's a little frustrating. But I chose my first faction mostly based on costume, but then turns out that it actually has a really good backstory, and I enjoy the hell out of it. And then you have your elites. The elites are just jackets. but they are jackets, spoiler alert, from storyline NPCs in Tokyo, like end game stuff, and it's actually their members only jackets. But yeah, these, once you unlock all of your 525 abilities, you get the Panoptic Core. Panoptic Core, it's black with the gold lights, and it says, "Hey everybody, I've spent so many damn AP that I own all possible abilities." And it's just pretty much good for showing off. I believe that the Preacher is definitely one that I'm going to go for. If not for the abilities, possibly just for the costume. But I do like the synergy between the Blade and Blood. So we're gonna give that one a try. But I believe the first starter I'm going for is the Puritan. This is your hammer and shotgun build. For the costume as well, but I will probably be doing my own build to make it work the way I want it to. But it's a good place to start. Gives me something to work forward to. I am unsure if there is any starter shotgun. We'll click through here. There's a shotgun rifle, shotgun chaos. I don't think there's a starter. See, this is hammer. If I went hammer rifle, go back. Hammer rifle. This is actually a pretty cool costume setup. You get this from hammer rifle. I will be getting that later, but I think I'm going to shoot for the fences and just run straight for the one I'm looking for. We're going to go straight for the hammer shotgun. Now this says I need rapid reload and buckshot in this tree. I already have the first 3 as set up. It gave it to me right off the bat when picking my weapon. This is why I said be careful about picking your weapon, because it gives you skills for free. That's AP you don't have to spend. It's priceless. It gives you 2 actives and gives you a passive to match, and you're good to go. I have 1 shotgun passive. Pump action also causes targets to become weakened. This is what I was talking about, stacking, markers or tokens or statuses on your enemies. And it stacks weakened, and there are other things later on that can take advantage of that weakened state. Then we have the below the belt. Whenever I hit with smash, target becomes weakened. All right, so it looks like this build is definitely going to be synergistic around anything that procs on weakened targets. So we're going to run with that. Let's see, this increases direct damage dealt by shotgun abilities. These are all tier 2s, so I'm going to have to fight through the tier 1s to get to them. That's going to be a little brutal, but see, this increases the crit chance of Hell to Pay. That sounds good. Now we've got Brawn and Grit. These are usually separated into attack and defense. There are exceptions, but that's usually how it goes. Like this one, increases crit, reduces recharge time. So these will be my personal support abilities, and these are going to be I break it off in your proverbial arsehole abilities. Let's see what we have. Do we want to increase crit chance? Shockwave. This is outlined in yellow. These are known as elites. The elite abilities are kind of mini ultimates. You get a super ultimate at the end, so it's not technically an ultimate, but they are your baby ultimates. They're your big spenders. They're just gonna just blow people's heads off with them. They're pretty good. They got long cooldowns, but it's worth it every time. Elite passives, on the other hand, do not have cooldowns unless specified inside. Like if it procs on you and says increases crit chance, like this one says for 6 seconds. Sometimes it says I cannot use it again for 30 seconds. Like it can only happen every 30 seconds. So that's something to be aware of. Let's see, this crit power will actually make me do more damage. And this one increases my crit chance of Hell to Play. All right, so let's go ahead and I'm thinking we might go just super hammer crit, because I haven't played with the hammers very much. I've mostly been doing shotgun stuff, but shotguns are really, really helpful. I just recently started with shotguns. I was always long range assault rifles, pistols, elemental. Kneecapper, super useful. What's the see, this one does a column attack for 400, 6 enemies, 4 meter wide, 8 meter long column, and they become impaired. This one is 400 in a cone, and they become hindered. Oof. But they're susceptible to anima deviation, so that could hurt. And this one makes vulnerable to magic. Enemies who are vulnerable to magic receive 20% more damage from magic attacks. Okay, so if I'm running with someone that's using blood, chaos, or elementalism, as soon as I hit them with the shockwave, they are now 20% more susceptible to that person's target. Hence the tanking. If I'm up in his face hitting him with all these afflictions, weakened, hindered, I status him, then that lets my DPSer behind me just absolutely dump on him. Good stuff all around. But since I'm running solo, I'm going to need some more survivability for the start here. See, hit and runs when an enemy dies, an explosion occurs, deals stuff to people around them. And passives, as you can see, this active says I must have a shotgun. The passives will activate on anything. So I don't have to use the shotgun to make this passive work. Let's see, this one, damage dealt by all shotgun abilities. That's pretty good, some straight up damage there. But I think we're going to start with, let's start with Righteous Fury and Brawler. Oh, did that one, Righteous Fury's a 2-coster, wasn't it? Yep, alright, so that killed us there. So we'll probably go for Brawler next, followed by Hit and Run, just to get us a little extra DPS going, and we'll move from there. Now, on to character skill points.
Welcome to the Council of Venice Digital Archives, and your online guide to surviving the secret world. Character skills. This is the character skill interface. You can train your weapon and talisman skills using skill points. You receive a new skill point when your experience bar fills up. Every weapon has 2 different skill paths. These will vary based on weapon type, although damage is always one of the 2 paths available. Distribute your skill points in order to focus on a specific playstyle. The higher your weapon skill, the higher quality weapons you can equip. You will also need to put skill points into your talisman skills in order to equip higher quality talismans. Whenever you see the skill point icon, make sure to open the character skill interface in order to distribute your new points. For more information on character skills, please access the Council of Venice archives.
Good stuff. Pretty much what she said. Now, you're definitely going to want to focus on whatever your primary weapons you're using. You're going to want to focus on those, but for different reasons. Damage is always useful, but each one has a secondary ability. Like this one, shotguns does support. When I deploy turrets or mines, my defensive target, whoever I'm targeting, be it me or another player, takes less damage from all sources. Hence, the support, using this together, even though it's technically a DPS weapon, I can use that support to deploy little things here and there to reduce the damage I take, or even for others. So that will go hand in hand real well with what I'm doing. Hammer's survivability, same thing. Blocking an attack further reduces the damage dealt to me by 4%. Blocking is a passive thing, so I'm going to want to stack that on my items along with health, magic resistance, physical damage resistance, and block. Evade, not so much, because I'm going to be in their grill and I want them to hit me. Obviously, More damage. This one says they build up momentum. When the momentum count reaches 5, your next ability deals 12% more damage. So it means I start hitting you. When I hit you for the 5th time, boom, I'm doing more damage. I hit you for a crap ton. This can be used as a chain. So I tag you, a little bit. And then once I hit that 5 ability, I can pop an elite ability and just lay waste. Because, 12% of my little builder isn't much, but 12% of my spender is massive. Same thing, we go shotguns. Shotgun's ability deal 1 physical damage based on your proximity to the target. So if you're at max range, you deal 1. If you're right up in their face, it can deal upwards of, I want to say 5 or 6 just to start, and it goes up as you go. I'll have to look more into that, get specific numbers. Yeah, it might also adjust based on your level. Haven't used shotguns enough to know exactly. Your talismans are a must. Do not neglect your talismans. Specifically, major talismans. Increases your health immediately. It's just a straight up passive health buff. And by the time you get to the end, it's a free 500 and change HP for nothing. It's a must. Then you've got your resistances, magical protection, physical protection. These are musts too. If you want defense and survivability, talismans are where to put your points. But I'm thinking because we're starting off slow, we're going to need to upgrade these. Yeah, to get a little extra deep. So we're going to go with some damage. And I'm thinking they could probably damage because I don't have any turret abilities yet. It's like I'm gonna get some, but I don't have any yet. So I might actually just put it in survivability. See how often I block attacks. I may not even block enough for it to matter. You know what? Let's put it in. Let's put it in major. Get some health. Our 1 point there. There we go. And that sets us up. My controller turned off because it took too long explaining that. All right. Pick up the phone from the table. This is going to be how you communicate with everyone. I love it. Cell phones. Boom. Exit the Crucible and return to Sonic's office. And if you ever need free weapons, like you want to switch your weapons and you don't want to have to find them or buy them or build them, or you don't have the resources, you can always come back here and get your little level 0 junker weapon and play around with it. This is always here. It's always good to use, and holy god, these are some nasty bastards. It's pretty awesome. This is going to be your AoE attack for sure, for AoE testing and whatnot. Boom. It's good stuff. And I'm in combat, so I can't put my weapon away. Put my weapon away. There we go. All right, grab a drink from the wet bar. And we're off. You select a new weapon. Try out other combat styles. When you're ready, leave the training room. I'm ready. I hope. This will finalize your starting weapons. Yes, I think we're good.
What can I do for you? The time has come to discuss your upcoming excursion to the colonies. I'm afraid it's business, not pleasure. Recently, a small island community on the New England coast dropped off the map. You can disregard the tiresome government cover-ups. There are dark forces at play. Solomon Island is a rock with infamy. In the past, it was trafficked by the Illuminati before they joined the rush to New York. You should be aware that we have history with the Illuminati, acrimonious history. Of course, under the flag of truce, we have spat and made up, and now we are the closest of enemies. All smiles above the table and drawn knives beneath it. Illuminati are reckless and cannot be relied upon to clean up their own messes. We must find the root of whatever doom has come to Solomon Island. But let me stress that this is not a rescue operation. Should there be survivors, you cannot announce that you've been chosen to deliver anyone from evil. Joan of Arc did, and look where that got her. Our goal is the salvation of all mankind, not on a case-by-case basis. I understand that may stick in your throat, but, well, halos are fading all over town now that there is so much more at stake. Leave as soon as you can. Your travel arrangements have already been made at the Eldwick Underground. I'll be in touch.
I love the story stuff. It's just so delicious. You can't just go around spouting that you're a savior here to rescue them from the evil Joan of Arc did, and look where that got her. Alright, I don't believe we have any money yet. We do not. Alright, so we're gonna have to finish this mission. Go to Eldwick Station. And we're off.
You're running around like a headless tourist.
Press X to toggle sprint on and off. Yeah, thanks for that. A little late. We're gonna go this way since we already went the other way. Oh, I've never been able to come over here before. Let's check for some lore real quick. Some more Templar stuff. Ooh, so fancy.
Directions? I'm sorry, do I look
Red
like
pool
I've been
tables.
bloody walking tours?
Fireplaces.
One of these days we should let Darkside flood and all the shit can float out.
It's a big library. And a crap ton of lore. You need to learn some stuff. Those are people we're probably going to talk to. Any lore in here? No? Hello? This is a big building for no lore. Super big building for no lore.
It's people like you would cause unrest.
Alright, well I guess I'll accept that there's no lore in here and move on. Begrudgingly.
That outfit could use a little more red.
That outfit could use a little more red. Really? I don't think I can put any more red on. Here's your Museum of the Occult. And we will be exploring that later for sure. I will go through that. That's technically issue 15. So when I get to the issue 15 stuff, I will definitely be going through and we'll cover all of that. A little bit of museum lore, naturally. Probably a little bit more museum lore. Let's see, what is this? Oh, nope. Templars, excuse me. Templars. Listen, something is happening. They hum. The crossed ones have always been wary of magic, yet many are the magi among them. They control the largest occult library in this world. Old books open, words older than the geological bodies are read. The muscles of the Templars' army tense. The dark days are here, as they always knew they would be, as they have trained for since they gathered the shadows of Babel. Good stuff. Good stuff. You all love the story. The lore in here is so awesome. A lot of it is really steeped in like actual myths and legends and whatnot. It's just all around good stuff. I have never actually been down that, so I will be down there eventually, looking for lore probably. But we are on to Eldwick Station. Boom. And here we are. Once again, lots of costume vendors and whatnot. They also got some other stuff. What does the help want us to do? Sprinting. Yep. Move faster. It's good stuff. Want to travel to Agatha? Absolutely. This is going to be your major travel hub. I'll let the dude do the explaining, though. And then I'll give you some pointers.
Hello? Yes? Now this is the Hollow Earth, Agartha. I do hope you're not here for the local service. It's running somewhat tardy. And by my watch, it's 100 years overdue at 1:15. Judging from the cut of you, you're more of a world traveller. Well, you've come to the right place. This underground realm, like the Great British Rail System, is the very model of efficiency. Agartha's thoroughfares sprout from the Tree of Life and connect back to the surface. Distance and time bend in here. Why, you can cross the globe in a brisk walk. Of course, it's perfectly safe. No one's entirely sure how it works. Quite bedeviled, the science boffins, but I'm assured they have their top men on it. Top men. Now, you'll need one of these. Mind your fingers. Thank you. Fascinating devices. Fortunately, there's still enough to hand out like sweets. Consider it your anchor to the hollow earth. It can return you here in a flash, proverbially and quite literally. Well then, onwards to the New England coast, what?
Oh man, and here is the congregation of the tons of people. Agartha conduit teleportation location. Use that. Boom. And that becomes in the Control T. Or Shift T, not Control T. Shift T brings you to all your teleport locations that you have unlocked. This one will be your primary one to quickly return here if you don't want to walk back to one of the trees in the local settlements. And that's what this thing's going to tell you. And when you want to find other people, chances are this is going to be where you find them, because whenever you teleport back here, this is where you end up. Or when you jump off the edge and fall into the abyss, this is where you end up. And right now there's an event going on where people are giving out, they're opening party bags for loot that gives items to the nearest 10 to 20 people. So everyone bunches up real close, and there's achievements for opening a bag and giving out stuff to at least 10 people. So other people that are looking for the achievement will come running over here and dump their goodies on the random spectators. But we are off. If you want to learn more about Agartha, you can talk to this guy. He'll tell you all about it. But for us, we are finishing Might Makes Right. Get some lore about Agartha. It's good stuff. The buzzing. So much buzzing. The buzzing's long. I'm going to wait until I have all the details on that to go over it in its entirety. These little white swirl portals, these are the ones that will speed you. You can go around them and take the long walk and just kind of stroll your way over there. Or you can just jump into one of these and shazam, you're there. And the first one we come to is going to be Kingsmouth Town, with some lore. The buzzing. We see you, there's no turning back. Step into the portal, click yes, and we're on our way to New England. And here we are. We step out of the first Agartha portal, and we get our first turn in and some lore. Lore is always fun. The buzzing. More buzzing. That standing over there, that's kind of a glitch. Sometimes you're supposed to pop up here or over there, but sometimes it sticks you right over there by the tree. It's strange. We can check out all our lore. Shows you all the new ones we've got. Oh, looks like we have 3 more in this set of buzzings, and then we'll have them all. And then we can read through it and try to make sense of the madness that is the past. Also, since I clicked on it, the other one went away because it is right here. But I got a new mission under General. I got You're Hired. Become initiated into your faction. That's also viewable right here under faction rank. Templar rank 1 novice. I am just initiated. You have novice as a title, and as you rank up, you will get more titles from your faction that you can apply, and they will appear by your name when others target and view you. It's good stuff. So we will come over here, use your cell phone, hit send report, call it in. You get a little blurb that shows your faction. From Temple Hall to Delta 1-1. Subject, Mike makes right. You made it through Agartha. That's good. One of our best cartographers once set out to map the infrastructure. When we found him 7 years later, he was naked, filthy, and babbling in Enochian. Needless to say, we never attempted that particular experiment again. How much XP you got? And any items that it's giving you. I'm getting a head talisman for extra health and attack rating. Both good, much useful. And then if you have a bonus or any bonuses are running, it'll tell you what they are and what they gave you. I can simply come here. I can either click and drag or just right click on it usual. Boom, more health. And under my offensive stats, you can see my attack rating has already gone up. Combat power is they take your attack rating and your weapon power, and it's always whatever your current weapon is. So this will change continuously based on which weapon you are using, because a weapon's stats are only applied while you are using that weapon. If you are not using the weapon, like when I could have a level 10 shotgun, a quality 10 shotgun, but if I have a quality 2 hammer, I'm getting quality 2 stats on my attacks, and vice versa. And you can actually manipulate that sometimes with procs and statuses. You know, build a status with one weapon and then switch over to the other to blast them for an effect that increases damage or hate or what have you. Actually quite useful. Thanks again, guys, and if you liked the video and want to see more content like this, be sure to like and subscribe. See you next time.